Hello and welcome back to Apostate Coalition. I am Ryan, and tonight on the Worldly Perspective, we are going to lay our hands all over your beautiful bodies. In not a harmful way and not perverted whatsoever. This is all for the good of healing because we love Jesus. And I'm going to pass it over to the best co-host I've ever had in this whole goddamn world, Alpha Sub.
I am not prepared for this.
Dr. Time Waster, the most beautifulest co-host in the world.
No, take it away, Alpha Sub.
It's your show now, buddy. It's your show now.
Is this the first test of a submissive?
Yeah, what are you going to do?
Today's show is about faith healing, ladies and gentlemen. I have been told I am now the host of the show. So, anyways, today's topic is everything is known about it by Dr. Time Waster, and she is dying to talk about it.
She wants to lay hands, I think.
That's what she told me before the show.
I'm thinking.
Mm-hmm. I do like to lay my hands on things. It's true.
Please.
It's true.
I welcome.
No, I know nothing on this topic, you guys. Hello. Yes. Good afternoon, everybody. Thanks for joining. We are just going to discuss it. This topic actually just came up to me last week as I was scrolling on Facebook and saw a family member posting about her church's faith healing extravaganza, and got me thinking about all the times I've asked this family member about faith healing and just, questions. I have many, many questions, and I've stopped asking those questions. It was very clear to me that I was getting a wall. So I don't actually know about faith healing from anyone who does it, but I've tried. So we're going to talk about it today and see what everybody else thinks about it and just see where the conversation goes. So does anyone here have any experience with being part of a faith that did faith healing? Most of us are ex-Jehovah's Witnesses. We have one future ex-Jehovah's Witness, Tyler. Tyler, you probably know more accurate information about every other Christian religion that's out there. What is faith healing?
Y'all did do faith healing?
No. At best, it's probably nothing's going to happen, but go ahead and pray to Jehovah that it'll get better.
It is kind of weird that we didn't do faith healing, though.
It seems like that right up y'all. That seems like right up y'all alley.
Yeah, it does really seem.
I know. They had like remember as a kid, they had like the prayer cloths. You would they'd be on the early morning. You pay, they'll pray over this little prayer cloth. You spend some money. They're supposed to put it over whatever, or you put that anointing oil. Sometimes people do it. My mom tried it on me one time. I thought that was just weird.
Anointing oil? Is that what you said? Okay.
Yeah.
What kind of oil is it? Like olive oil?
I think it's olive oil.
Okay.
I don't like greasy things on my skin, so that just never worked with me. And now I just put that together now. That's probably why I didn't like it, because I don't like lotion. Don't put no olive oil on me. That's disgusting.
Did you watch Silence of the Lambs too young? Sure.
I just don't. I don't like the way lotion feels. It feels like an extra layer of skin.
I agree.
Not because you always got the hose.
Yeah. Oh, but like faith healing, like when you get inside the church, there's people. Obviously people pray and they think, yeah, God will heal you. But then there's actually people take it a little bit step far farther. Prayer cloth, just a piece of fabric that they not on line back in those early. Y'all never woke up early in the morning and those people weren't slanging those prayer cloths for you like 5, 6 in the morning.
No, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
I had to swing watchtowers in the morning, but
Tyler, let me see your elbow real quick.
It's probably not ashy.
Oh, it looks good.
Because I use good soap
Okay. Well, dang. What
Uh,
soap do you use?
He washes his body with a washcloth, like those
do.
crazy
Let's
people
plug
do.
the soap right now. What soap
Those
do you use?
newfangled washcloths.
I do.
What's the soap?
I use Harry's and Dr. Squanch.
Oh, gotcha.
Squanch.
Alright.
Squanch. It's probably Squatch. I just like saying Squanch.
Yeah, Squanch. From Rick and Morty.
That's
Yeah.
what I was thinking.
It's a really good. It's a really good soap. It makes my skin feel so buttery smooth, so I don't have to put lotion on, and I get to be dry and not ashy. But sometimes I do get ashy. Like the other day, I was super ashy. I know this is off topic, but I
It's
did
off
some.
topic, Tyler.
Yeah, I know. I'm gonna bring
You're
it back
healed.
because I went to see somebody who did some faith healing on me and just healed me from my ashiness. So you'll go to the church, right? And there's people they'll say they'll just lay hands on you, and through them, the power of God is working through them to heal whatever your ailment is. So they may put their hand on your head, knock you out, cure you that, touch you whatever hurt, and usually that it's a scam most times than not, because Jim Jones. Because hindsight, Jim Jones did that too. He did faith healings too.
I just came
Did
up
he
with the
really?
best faith healing for a
You
black
do it
crowd.
dry?
If you had ashy elbows,
Not recommended.
I could have a hand that's wet with olive oil and say, "Come here, brother." Grab you by the elbow with my olive oil hand and start praying, "Lord, please cure him of his ashy joints."
But he'd feel it like a second skin.
Yeah, you just made me uncomfortable mentioning it.
And then he'd let go and show the crowd, "Look, the Lord's healing his ashiness on
If
his elbow."
somebody cradled my elbow, I don't know. I think I'd lose my shit.
Yeah,
I'd recommend an ointment over oil. Like an ointment would just like
Josh, I'm sure y'all two with the long hair over there, your hair gets wet and it just dangles and touches you. I don't like any like when it comes. I don't like the longest part of a shower is to dry off for me.
Yeah,
Like,
you gotta make sure you're 100%.
It takes me. It's like a 30-minute. It's 30 minutes till I'm completely dry. I gotta be bone absolutely dry. Sometimes I get Sometimes I get a hair blow dryer too. I use a hair blow dryer or stand under the fan.
We just need to get some Ashby on.
I'm enjoying this insight into Tyler's skincare and wash routine.
You said you don't
Thank
like
you for
lotion.
telling
I'm like,
us.
man, let's dive in.
But yeah, faith healing, they do it. They heal people all the time. But it's usually a racketeer people, but there are people who.
So the question
it's just sometimes because a coincidence of things happen in terms of like they go to church and the preacher prays over them, but then they go to the doctor, go through all the treatments, and then it gets healed, but they give the accreditation to the preacher for the faith healing. But it's just kind of example. It's not really faith healing. I think I told you, Dr. Time Waste. I did. So I owe no student debt apparently because they swiped it out. Thank you, taxpayers. Don't worry, I didn't have a lot. I just had like a little bit. But another one of the people I went to school with, he posted about it, and he was thanking Big Daddy Pimp God for doing it. And I'm sitting there thinking, like, I'm not even believing in your thing and getting the same things you getting.
I didn't have to pray, and I still got it.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I never asked for any of this. So it seems, I'm just saying. So, but from his perspective, it looks like God did this for him. When in reality, it's just a thing that happened because everybody of every other religion who went to that school got that. So it don't matter. It wasn't nothing he specifically do, or we just the byproduct of his blessings. So that's how they think faith healing is real. But it's a sight to see, though.
In what context did you see faith healing? Was it like at what denomination church, or was it like
Baptist, Christian? They do it. It's not. It's different levels. Just like the different levels. It's different levels of how crazy you are with the faith healing. There's the ones that will just pray for you as a congregation that you get better. That's a
Right.
term of faith healing.
Right.
All the way up to the point where those people are in those crowds growing limbs back, or the Benny Hill hitting you with the jacket, and the people walking again. That's just a different spectrum of where you at on it. And usually people fall in between Benny Hill and the other ones, and it's like, just a bunch of coincidences. It just because they don't never account for because they don't account for the things that they did. They just say, "Oh, I went to the doctor. I did all this chemo, and my cancer's gone. God did it." Like, no, you did the prayer didn't do anything. If you had not prayed and just still did chemo, you would have still got rid of it. Well, somebody wants out of this room.
I have never actually seen faith healing in person, but I've seen. I mean, on the internet, obviously, in different contexts. I even see it on TikTok from time to time. But before we started this show, I've mentioned several times already the magician named Darren Brown. He has several works that he has done, and you can find a lot of them on YouTube. The ones that you can't find on YouTube, you can find on however you find. I don't know, pirate it. Just look for it.
Did he freeze? I heard
I'm gonna heal him, guys. I got you.
Come on, lay your
Got
hands.
this.
Lay your hands on that screen. Come on,
Come
everybody.
on, everybody. Hit
You
that
are
like
in
button
the
again.
chat. I need you to put a high five in the chat.
High five in the chat. We gotta get him back. Lights and high
If you're in
five.
the chat, I need you
Come
right
on.
now to put that high five. Come on. We've got to bring him
Come
back, guys.
Come on.
The quicker you put that hand in there, the
on.
quicker he's going to come back. I promise you, this is how it works.
Come
This
on.
is look, I'm even going to do it because I just want to show you that this is how it works.
Come on.
Here we go. Oh, I'm even
Come
going to
on.
get to choose like a different palm color. I don't even have to have the old white cartoon hand. Oh, there we go. Dan's getting okay. We're getting close to being healed, guys. I feel it.
I can feel him coming back.
Yes, seriously. Good evening. Come on, you guys. I need those high fives. I need those hands. You can even type high five. Okay. We'll take the prayer hands. Any hand will do. Any hand will do. Thank you, Watch Me Tower. Thank you.
Mickey
Thank
Mouse
you,
gloves.
Chronicle. Oh my gosh.
Oh, come on. He's gonna resurrect.
He's gonna get resurrected.
He's back. He's back. You guys.
Look at that.
We did it.
We
Thank
did it.
you so
We
much.
did it. We did it. Can you put me back in the spot I was at? And
Let's just look around here. There we go.
Where did I miss?
Friends.
Oh, we brought you back.
Even a five.
We used the power of Jehovah to bring you back. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we asked everyone in the chat to put a hands up and look.
Everyone's bringing you back.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Thank you, guys.
We did it. We did it.
I don't know what to tell you. You know, Jesus stayed dead for 3 days, but around here we work so much quicker.
We didn't want to waste time. Right?
No.
Like, we got things to do.
Excuse me,
30
your
seconds.
your namesake. Dr. Time Waster, hell no. That's my ironic name.
So what was I saying?
Sarcasm.
What were y'all? Where did y'all last hear from me?
Oh my god!
I don't even fucking know at this point, dude.
Gotcha.
I've lost the thread at this point.
It was like a minute you were gone.
I was gonna bring up Darren Brown in his specials on faith healing, and this is probably most knowledge that I have on the subject comes from his specials. But the first one is Miracles for Sale.
It was the Satan hand. Yeah, it was this one. It even looks like a little wet.
If it was wet, this definitely would have brought me back.
Like, why are those two fingers like?
Y'all the type of people put a
Anyways,
shirt on a damp back.
his first special was called Miracles for Sale, and he teaches somebody to become a faith healer, and they put on a faith healing show at the end of the special. And the second one is just called Miracle, and it's a stage magic show, but he displays some magic that faith healers will use. And the magic that faith healers will use, one of them like common ones that people are aware of now, is growing limbs. I don't know if growing limbs is mentioned in the Bible or not, but they'll say it is. But all they'll do is take somebody, have them lay on their back, and slide their shoe off of them slightly, and say their feet are uneven because their legs are different lengths, and then they'll slide the shoe back on while praying, and say, "Look, you can see the Lord growing his limbs to heal him and make his
What kind
limbs."
of person does that? I don't understand.
Someone
Well,
who's
people-
trying to get
Who
tips.
have justified it?
Someone like me that knows these tricks, but doesn't care if they're like, just tricking people to get
Oh, but
money
they're
or
paying
not.
people. They're paying people to do it. Well, they're not paying people to do it, but they're getting paid by the people who think that's real. So that's
It's
what.
lucrative
Hence,
business. They can
henceforth, prayer cloth.
It is
What
my
do you
opinion
do
that faith
with cloth?
healing is mostly just immoral magicians, is what it is. It's just immoral magicians. It's like, I mean, there is the part that you talked about of faith healing where people just pray. If somebody has like cancer or something, then when their cancer gets healed, it's like it's because we prayed. But an actual show, a faith healing show, it's just immoral magicians.
Yeah, 'cause the
There's
person
always
never-
some kind of trick, but sometimes they'll convince themselves
The
that it
person
is
never had
God.
the person never had cancer to begin with.
Oh, there is that sometimes too.
They never got it actually
They never-
tested and confirmed.
Yeah,
I
And
looked
then
up
they
on
just went
WebMD.
straight to their preacher.
yeah. They never was unable to walk.
It was actually just a hematoma.
Yeah.
That was caused from a hard punch.
So you mentioned something earlier where people will go to faith healers or even just pray that they'll get healed. But then they're also seeking modern medicine and getting chemo and doing all those things. And this is where my problem is with the concept of faith healing, because I do think there is a beneficial part of our healing, whether it's emotional or whatever, where touch can be a source that can be helpful depending on the situation, right? Even just like holding somebody's hand during a procedure can help reduce anxiety and be a distraction, be a comfort. Like even just that alone, there is benefit in touching or laying of hands on people in certain situations, but they're never going to do the thing that is necessary in medicine and in science, and that is count it accurately, right? And I think what they do is they count the hits and not the misses, while they're also doing multiple things at one time. Because if you need to find out if X or Z is causing the problem, you don't want to just change both things at the same time.
Right.
Then you won't really know which thing did it. And so they're never setting themselves up for accurate data if they're going to do both. And that tells me a lot of different things, but that's the most frustrating part about this.
But you know, but the part where you get confused is that part is also part. Like that's what, you know, God did that too. He created that. He created that medicine.
They take the credit for the surgeon who removed the tumor, and
yeah, but they not only take credit of the surgeon, they take credit of the studying he put in to do it and everything.
The only
reason yeah, the surgeon did it, but he only did it because God gave him that was God directed him to do that despite free will. But hey, who knows? So he's the author of all things, so he did it. So because he had to give the person cancer and then make a person to cure that cancer, but not
Right.
everybody's cancer, just some select few people.
God doesn't cause the problems. He doesn't cause the cancer, but he can cure the cancer. Right?
Not all the time.
Well, he doesn't always
God
cure it.
created Isaac Newton that gave us the theory of gravity, which then later gave all of the other.
I'm just trying to
ideas.
understand the rules. Like, does God interfere with our lives enough to
There's no rules.
decide who to cure and who not to cure?
Hey, while we have a second, can you all lay your hands on the like button
Oh,
for me,
yeah.
please?
Lay hands on
Just
the
to-
like button.
I
Everybody,
need you to
let's
heal
let's
my
make this the most
empty.
popular. Let's
What?
make this the most popular show on YouTube right now. We all lay hands on the like button simultaneously. Hit share, subscribe.
Yeah.
Hit the like button.
Amen.
A what odd number of times? Is that what we want?
I think you can only hit it once, right?
No, you can hit it as many times as you want, but it unlikes it the first time. Just make sure it's an odd number of times.
Yeah.
Either
See,
one time or 3 times.
yeah.
I did 3.
You're good
One,
at this.
2,
Okay.
3.
I'm
I
gonna
did
cover all
3.
my bases.
3 times a charm, so I did 3.
We're all
Yeah.
hitting the like button 3 times. Just make sure it says like.
Yeah.
And then tell all your friends, lay your hands on the phone.
And whoever's hitting the heart, I see you hitting the heart. Thank you for hitting the heart.
Y'all guess what I just did? I had big screen the YouTube video and I was moving. I'm like, why am I moving on? Well, what is everybody just talking out loud of sync? And the whole time I was looking at the YouTube video.
I've done that before. Like, wait, what the fuck's wrong with my audio? Like, oh, dipshit. Not StreamYard. I'm looking at the delay. Dirt.
Doop, doop.
Derp, derp, derp.
I heal everyone through the power of prayer.
So, man, I wish I could just have a list of the things that Dan Brown brought up, but I'm trying to think
Like
of some of the more common tricks that
The
faith healers
arm,
have used.
the arm thing.
I
Yeah,
don't
that.
know.
Well, they do the hand like this to make it seem like the hands, they're making it grow.
Yeah, also growing limbs. Yeah, that is another one.
Yeah, when they do the whole like just one is I mean that's so it makes no sense because it's just so easy to fake. Like it's just not right.
you
Like, I
want-
know-
The thing, you know, when they lay hands on people and they do like that, and the people fall.
yeah.
It's not really your body is just following wherever your head goes. Because if somebody does that they do it when you're not. If you do, especially because they got you in a vulnerable situation, right? Your guard is down, so you're not tense as much. So they just hit you, and you're just gonna go. You're just gonna fall back with your head, and you already been conditioned to think that, oh, I'm going. That's God right there. Let me go with it, and you go with it. You just really you're gonna fall anyway. It had nothing to do with. He didn't touch you with any magical powers to make you fall. You just.
You ever see the ones where they like fucking wallop the person?
Gotta make sure they go down.
Yeah, make sure. Y'all ever see
And
the
the
ones?
one guy like runs across the stage and is all like exaggerates his motions and shit.
When they cure you, like when they do they got a lot of those when they cure you from the demons and they pull the demon out and they're talking to the demon and all that stuff and things like that. It's like those people are all they usually in it together.
I feel like religion's just a performance art. Like
It is.
it's
Nowadays
not,
it is for sure.
whether you're the faith healer you're the preacher trying to get everybody to, I don't know, or you're the person who's getting the demon sucked out of her. Like I know these people. There's people who are like saying that's I got a demon out, and they went with it, and then everyone around is going to be like, well, they don't look like they're faking, so it must be real,
Because we as people love the theatrics. Everything we do, everything is theater. Even if it's not religion, if it's not religion, it's all theater. We do it all the time. Some people do it.
I feel like
some people do it. Some people do it menacingly, And some people just do it because that's just what we do. Like you see it on TikTok all the time. We kind of theatrically set up things and tell people in the way we do things. Like in reality, whatever we telling, it's not as exciting as we make it seem to be. Most of the stuff is most of these events are boring. They're not nothing. So we have to put this theatrical spin on it because it's really, really boring.
There's a couple things I want to mention.
Tea.
First of all, besides the trick of growing limbs that we mentioned, I know another trick that they'll do is make heal the blind,
With it.
which is make somebody like me that can't see very well without their glasses think they can see and read very clearly. And I don't know what the trick is, but there is an actual magic trick. And I'm not going to pay money, and I'm not going to do that much research to tell you all this. But it
I
is
know what the
just
trick is. The person ain't blind. That what it is. The
I
dude's
know.
not.
I know one of the things they'll do is an optical illusion to make people think that they are more blind than they are. But as far as making them see better, I don't know what it is. But I know that it wears off after the show is done. Um,
Because these people are under distress. You're in
Adrenaline, placebo.
but they're also think about it, they're in a room full of people
there
all
is
thinking so they
adrenaline
have
stuff.
to so you have to so it's like so you was like I bet like when those kids like just speak in tongues and they just doing it because you feel like this is what you're supposed to be doing. I suppose yeah I can see I see way better. Thanks God. Because you don't want to be the one because
Yeah.
you don't want to be the
As you
party.
stumble away, falling over yourself.
Yeah, because you don't want to be the party pooper in a room full of churchgoers. Like,
Right.
And
I still can't see,
are
preacher. Preacher, I can't see.
any of y'all
You know
familiar
who
with
we should watch?
who?
Catherine Crick. Is that her name? Let me look her up real quick. Go ahead. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. I should have just
Are
looked it up.
any of y'all familiar with Peter
Mhm.
Popov?
Who?
Peter Popov.
Peter Popper.
Dr. Time Wisher, have you ever heard of him?
No.
He was a faith healer on TV in the 80s or 90s. A televangelist, and everyone thought that God spoke to him because he would say, "Do I have a Daryl in the crowd from 302 Forest Drive?" And Daryl would stand up and be like, "I'm here. How did you know?" And he'd be like, "Oh, did you have cancer in your kidney?" He's like, "Yeah, I did. Oh my God, God must be speaking to you." And it turns out all these people filled out forms, prayer request forms beforehand,
Mhm.
where they had their name and their address
Mhm.
and their condition they wanted help for, and they submitted those. And the Peter Popov's wife was on a radio frequency feeding him the information on the slips into an earpiece. And then somebody whose name I cannot remember, I apologize, uh, knew that something was up, and they scanned the radio frequencies and recorded and found his wife talking to him. But yeah, that was his faith healing trick, was
Just
making people think that he was
literally
getting
scamming
information.
people. Isn't that
Yeah.
like, aren't there psychics that have done that too? Like people who've been famous psychics that have been sort of
Oh.
debunked in a very, very similar way, where they found out they were just
lots of people scam people with tricks like this. Psychics also do the same.
Hey,
But
you know
there's
what,
an
you know
extra
what else
problem.
they do?
What's that?
They do it at MLMs too.
Do what?
yeah, MLMs.
MLMs is the same. They all use the same
Mhm.
tactics because we're very predictable in the things that we want.
There's an extra problem with some of this, which is even though that a lot of these things are tricks, people will convince themselves that even though they're a trick, that it actually is just one of their powers, and it's not a trick. They think it's real. And I, a long time ago, when I first started my TikTok um, as Magic Dog Stopper, I did magic tricks, and I ran across the psychic community. And one of the popular things they were doing was showing that they could make a rock move in their hand with their mind.
Oh, I remember that.
Yeah, that's like those people that are, they got that tin foil, and they
Oh, and move it by like
dude,
waving wind towards it.
that's science. You're using science. There's no magical powers to this. But again, that
Wait,
is
I found something.
that's our natural state, in my opinion. That's what most humans do. You just gonna, if it's not gonna be Christianity, it'll be something else. There always will be something. And right now it's a bunch of them, and just Christianity is just the biggest one next to Islam that's here. What?
Dr. Time Waster, I just watched that Star Trek episode that you recommended to me as far as
Do tell.
what was it called? The first
Blink of an eye.
Blink of an eye? Yeah. Where the star appeared and that made them create this religion.
Based on this star.
Yep. It sounds
Yes.
like you know more
Blink
about
of an Eye is an episode of Star Trek Voyager where there's a time differential between the spaceship in orbit and the
Gotcha.
land on the planet, and so the time is faster on the planet. This has also been in Simpsons did an episode like this where the world evolves faster on the smaller scale, and so Voyager was 5 minutes, and Voyager was like 500 years on the planet or something. I don't know.
It was there from the beginning of there.
Yeah.
Whatever.
So they evolved into knowing Voyager was there because it was fixed in the sky, and so they had a whole religion around it.
Only for it to come shattering down.
All right, you guys, you have to watch this video. I can't. Are you ready to watch this with me?
But in the end, they realized that it was a real thing and not God's, and they helped them leave. And that was the end of them believing in the religious BS.
Right.
Yeah.
It's a glorious episode. You should all watch it.
It was pretty good, and that was...
It's my favorite episode.
What are we watching here, and will we get banned for playing it?
You just gotta not so much. Just gotta pause and play.
Yeah, I'll try to pause. Or if we keep what if we keep talking over it?
We'll keep talking over it.
We'll keep talking over it because
it's
there's
not like
really
they're
not much.
saying anything.
Yeah,
fair use on it.
This woman, Catherine Crick, goes out to parks. Okay. You should subscribe to my friend Apostle David E. Taylor. I'm not subscribed to him on this account because this is the OOB account. But Apostle David E. Taylor, he goes over all these church scammers. But Catherine Crick goes out to these parks and people come to her to get healed, like from demons and all kinds of ailments and whatnot. So let's just look at her faith in action, okay? You hear?
Allow her to speak.
Okay, no.
Oh, I see her on TikTok all the time.
She is always on TikTok, right?
Does it come with the sad music?
Speaking.
Does it come what?
With the sad music, like the
yeah,
slowly uplifting.
Yeah,
look at that. That's real.
Look, she's getting healed, guys. Whatever's inside of her is coming out. Oh, look, and that's how
The key to these types.
She is acting.
Wow.
Well.
They're doing everything you was told what it was like that you seen through movies. Like nobody's ever actually seen how you act.
I'm looking at everybody's faces behind.
Yeah, those are the people. Look at the
believing
people in
it.
the background. That's the people that tell you.
Allow her
Tell
to
you
speak
everything.
now,
You
right
believe,
now.
believing her board.
Hun,
look.
go to right now.
Ask them how much they got
This
paid
is your
to come
time to
out
be
there.
delivered right now. Right now.
Look, she's there, you guys. All of a sudden, she's there.
Well, she's back
diabetes,
normal.
underfunction,
She seems
thyroid,
not
dizziness,
too
fatigue,
traumatized.
angina, divorce, generation causes altered.
Everybody's like, they
Generational
look like they're
altered
just
stress,
waiting for their turn. Or like nothing's really
mind,
Alright, this-
going
this-
on.
I think that's good enough, right? But
Damn, she
did you see
feel
that kind of
bad.
like?
I can bet money and my bottom dollar. Those people in the background are from a casting call. Like, cause because when you look at like it's another guy that does these at a college, and he always talking to some weird atheist person, and he's always winning. He's never lost in any of those debates,
Mhm.
and the crowds are just like this. But when you really look at these crowds, it's like this looks like an odd bunch of people that will just be crowded up at the park right now. Like, these people would just happen to. These type of people would just happen to all be there like that. These people were casted to be there, in my opinion, and that's the trick. She's the trick. I'm not
So,
calling her trick.
Oh, why didn't I remove that? Sorry.
did I just watch a woman pretend to be?
I don't know.
Out of her?
In
I
my
don't know if.
I believe she was.
Oh shit! Oh shit!
I
Well-
don't think that was a magic trick. I'm pretty sure that was just
What-
somebody
Acting.
pretending to be disabled, and then.
No. She wasn't. She was possessed by a demon.
This is a
1 second.
black
Let me show you
witchcraft
something.
Right. I
medium
didn't
tarot
consider
reading.
She
Oh, there's
casts
more.
out demons.
I detach her from all she's renounced, and I command every spirit attached now must leave her in the order you enter now.
She
In
could be
Jesus'
having
name.
a
You're
stroke.
gonna fall down, guy. I'm a pretty girl. Look at me spin, mommy. I'm a pretty girl. I'm a
Look at the
pretty
people.
girl.
Look at the people around. Look at the people around. Look at the people around her.
Serpents and python, detangling.
Oh.
Hallelujah. Hallelujah.
Look at the kid. Look at that kid.
Serpent and python out of her now. In Jesus'
Look at
name.
her.
Oh shit! This
So there is a
Oh god,
difference.
what are we watching?
One thing that people do is they will convince themselves that they are being healed, and they'll feel like that things
But-
are happening to them, and
Does she never
they'll feel
fall?
better for days from their ailments,
I guess she
just
never
from
fell.
believing that
you-
they're being healed.
But if you look at the people, the main people in any of these situations is always the crowd. Look at the crowd of the people, and you can see the people. You can see in some people's faces, like, "Yo, what the?" But then you can see that they're looking around and seeing other people going along with it, so they're like, "Okay, I guess."
Yeah,
I guess is what I guess just go along with all this.
it's
And
not
that's what-
mob
and-
mentality, but it's like, what's the?
You just watching everybody else.
You know,
It's-
like
you see, yeah. So you like, okay, if you're the only person not doing something, and if everybody around you is going along with it, whether they're faking it or not, and you don't know that the other people are faking it, and you're assuming that you got a bunch of people all faking it and don't know that the other people are faking it because they don't want to be the one that says the cool, charismatic, the leader, pastor, whoever has all the power, got the money, got everybody on them. You don't want to be on the opposite end of that, especially when your lifeline is connected to all that. So
there's also psychological like experiments that they've done with people like social groups where they'll just put people in situations where all of a sudden they stand like they're in a room with people and everyone stands up all at once, and the person who's in the room has no idea what's going on, but eventually for whatever reason is like, oh, okay, well, we're all standing, okay. And then they start weeding everybody out and they bring in new people, and before the end of the experiment, every new person who randomly wandered in is all standing up, and nobody knows why they're doing it. They just did it because when they got here, that's what everybody else was doing. And you realize your behaviors are being, you sort of just, what is it we were all told as kids, like, don't do what your friends do, like,
right.
if everyone jumps off the cliff, are you gonna?
telling you that statement itself is everybody doing what their friends doing. Just everybody's saying that because everybody else says that. Yeah, everybody says don't do what your friends doing. Why simultaneously doing what your friends doing?
Right. But if
flapping.
we know that we have a human behavior and a tendency to default to this mode, then that is the source where we're all going to be targeted for being manipulated or being vulnerable to suggestions that really there's no reason to believe that over anything else, but that's what you saw first in your time of vulnerability. So I don't know. We have the most distracted live I've ever seen, where you guys are on your phones and Alpha Sub isn't even here, and I'm just talking to myself.
I was listening. I promise you, I was listening.
How was the last?
See, I think what it is. You don't see because you don't have kids, so I'm able to do multiple things at the same.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I can hear you, and I'm listening to you, and at the same time I'm doing.
We got caught, you guys. We got
Yeah.
caught with our pants down.
They called
We got
us out.
spanked.
They
We
called us
had
out.
hands laid on us, not the way that we suspected it would end up tonight. Just put that out there.
Well, I mean, I can just keep ranting if nobody cares, but that's
We care.
We care. Rant about some handling. What was your thing you were gonna tell us about? Didn't you have some stuff to show us too?
Oh no, not really.
No,
He had already talked about Darren Brown, who's debunking a lot of psychic healing. It was just more of that stuff. So
okay.
yeah, I mean, there's a lot of interesting rabbit holes you can go down on YouTube and just looking into it. But I'll be honest, you guys were talking about that lady being on TikTok, and I maybe vaguely know what you're talking about, but I cannot scroll fast enough when I see that stuff.
Yeah.
Not interested. No, not interested.
I used to watch it all the time because Jeff Hefe would always post it. So that always came up on my
He will
FYP.
every now and then.
Yeah, he still will, but
because people keep doing it.
and I can't believe they get away with it and people fall for it, but yet being a witch can be condemned and deemed as like I don't know. You're not allowed to. What?
They're gonna keep falling for it because it's not something that's innate to religion. Religion.
This should be my alternate identity.
Your alternate identity is Dr. Rant Waster.
If I stand on this hill and I may die on this hill, if it wasn't Christianity, it's always something. It doesn't have a monopoly on that way of thinking. So that's why people can fall. That's why people are going to forever always fall for it, because when you only look for it in one thing, you ignore it in all the others.
I'm back.
I agree with you. I can't agree with you more.
I get uncomfortable in group. I get uncomfortable when I hear unison chant, no matter what it is. It makes me uncomfortable. I remember being in boot camp, and whenever we would chant everything, it's like, oh, this is weird, because you can feel what it does when everybody chants. And no, I don't like this. Mm-hmm. I don't like this. Like, I was at my kids' school, and they was saying the Pledge of Allegiance. I said, ugh, I don't even have a problem with the Pledge of Allegiance, but hearing everybody say it at the same time, it's like, no, I don't like that.
So are we going to talk about the bear thing after that comment that was brought up?
I did it. What scripture is that, Lucifer? Because I tell you what, I need to make a video on that. I have a million videos.
I just want to say real quick,
scripture or something with a bear that was got mauled by a bear. Is that one?
Well, if it's that one, that's the one where the kids say he's bald, and then
like the bald guy.
There's something else. There's a proverb that's like, better to meet a bear in the woods than a angry man or foolish man or something like.
Oh wow!
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
Damn. Yeah, those conversations are like.
I can't believe people take it.
Insightful.
I just wanted to say real quick that a ton of men are being super emotional and showing their unwillingness to listen on this particular subject. It shouldn't be that hard to imagine ways that a man could be worse than a bear. I mean, if you hadn't figured
Absolutely.
out that
I would
men,
choose the bear every day, all day, no matter what, guaranteed.
if you hadn't figured out that humans in general, we don't even have to get into gender. We can be worse than any other animal on
What'd
the
you say?
planet by now. That if you haven't figured out that humans in general, regardless of their gender, can be worse than any other animal
What
on
you
the
mean
planet.
could be? We top tier here.
Top.
Right, exactly.
Totally worse.
We don't have.
Way
There's
worse.
no other predator other than ourselves.
Mhm.
That's how top tier we are.
I would argue though that if chimps could use vicious tools,
But they
they
can't.
probably would.
But they can. But they can.
Chimps are
Yeah,
like
they
the
can.
next most vicious. Like they actually go to war, so they're pretty bad.
Yeah.
I
They'll
wouldn't
rip
want
your
to
nose
be.
off. And they'll rip your
I'd
nose
rather
off.
meet a
Doggy, doggy,
bear
doggy,
in the
doggy,
woods
doggy.
than a chimp as
Oh,
well.
of course.
I'd rather meet a bear than a chimp that's in heat.
So you've been doxxed. You have been
Oh,
doxxed.
you
You've been
speaking of
alpha subbed.
Overall,
of-
my message is men quit being so emotional and just listen when
Thank
women
you.
are trying to say something as a whole, especially.
here's the secret. The
Thank
people who ain't gonna listen ain't gonna listen.
I know.
They
I
ain't gonna
figured
listen.
it out.
They ain't gonna listen.
They can't
But
hear you.
but speaking of chimpanzees,
Oh no.
I went to when I first time ever going to the zoo, and my first time ever seeing a live chimpanzee, and it just happens to be when they was in heat. Now I didn't know anything about chimpanzees in heat, so
Right.
I'm walking around looking at, are they gonna put that thing down? Why is it swollen in the back like that? That thing looks sick.
How'd you get an ass like that?
I said, and then I said, oh, I was like, man, so good.
Dr. Time Waster, do they have bonobos in the zoo in the city that you formerly lived in?
I have no idea.
Gotcha. Well, I know there's one zoo in the United States at least. There might be 2 or 3, but it's less than 5 for sure. I'm pretty sure it's just one that has bonobos, because bonobos do nothing besides have sex constantly with each other.
Oh, they just be fucking.
Yeah, constantly. The only
Don't
rules they
dolphins do
have
that
is
too?
like parents will not fuck their children. So besides that, that's all they do with each other all day, every day. Men, women.
What else they gonna do? They
cares?
ain't inventing nothing.
So a lot of zoos don't even show them because they're like,
A
They don't
culture
have
with too much pleasure.
they don't have no They don't have a podcast.
Right.
If they stop doing all that, maybe they have a podcast and maybe they can overtake this planet. So until then, let's let them keep doing what they do.
And by the way, bonobos were most closely related to besides chimps.
Chimps are creepy. It's like a distant
So-
relative.
We evolved from a common ancestor
I ain't involved from no monkey.
from the fucking monkeys.
Fucking niggas.
You
Yeah,
trying to say,
fucking
you trying to
niggas.
say my great uncle is a monkey?
What did we find?
I repute you. What Bible app are you using?
Wait, hold on. Actually, let me get to. I don't like the new
Bible
one.
Gateway.
Oh wait, wait.
Oops,
I
miracle,
just saw it.
Jesus. Wait, sorry. Would you guys ask me? What do I use? What app?
You got Dr. Thomas to cover it up down there.
That's
Oh, my
right.
bad. Hold on. I'm
Totally
sorry,
fine
y'all.
with that.
I'm coming back. I'm coming back. I'm coming home.
I'm coming.
home.
I saw it.
Tell me.
The proverb just a second ago.
Give me a
Scroll
second.
down a
I
little
know.
bit.
I came back to. Is it showing? There we go.
No, keep going.
1712.
1712.
That's what it says.
Better
17.
There you
yeah,
go.
I see.
She
There you
bear
go right there.
robbed of its cubs than to confront a fool immersed in folly.
So basically, it's worse to be around a fucking
A fool
Fool.
immersed in folly than a bear
yep.
robbed of her cubs.
Right. So,
Better,
even
so
a
it's saying
pissed off
guaranteed
bear.
being
It's
mauled.
not all men.
It's the Bible says it's better to guarantee that you're mauled by a bear, not just meet a bear in the woods. that
Right.
might or might not maul you.
It's the
I'll
better.
take, like I said, I'll take a bear over a woman in the woods. Not because
Wow.
I'm scared. Not because I'm scared of the woman. It's just for her safety. Oh, that sounds worse. That sounds worse. That's what I'm. That
Thank you
sounds
for
worse.
sharing that scripture with me.
That sounded worse. I meant in the sense of like,
Can we clip that, please? Thank you.
I don't want to be under the pressure that, like, y'all never walk behind somebody in a garage knowing that, oh man, I hope you don't think I'm one of those people, but then you try to do the things that you don't want to seem like that, but it seems like you're being even more, and it's this whole little, I don't want to have to do that in the woods. It's like, hey, I'm coming through. It's just me. Just me. I'm showing up. Don't worry. Just me. And then I know I'll just take the bear.
A lot of explaining you're doing.
I know. It sounds it's a lot of explaining. It sounds like it's just I'll be quiet. I'll go on my way. I'll go on my way.
So anyway, faith healing.
All right.
From faith healing to a bear in the woods.
I find it frustrating. I can't watch them when we're watching. I was really cringing. Like I can't watch that kind of stuff.
Oh, faith healers. Oh yeah.
Because it's very frustrating to me, and part of it is because I have been classically trained in modern medicine, and it's very complicated. Like it's complex. You cannot give the same medication to everybody on earth and have the exact same reaction happen.
I know one medicine you give to everyone.
Oh, really? Do
What's
you?
that?
I don't think you do.
Jesus.
No. Ivermectin.
One prescription cures all.
No. I'd give everyone.
But that's the thing about. But that's the thing, though. I'm jokingly saying that, and people like that's legit sound advice.
Because whatever.
Go to a that's a line that will be used in a Baptist church. There's only one prescription. Jesus. That's the type of language you're getting. So it sounds weird, but like that's solid.
But it's very gaslighty because why wouldn't it have worked before?
Because you didn't have Jesus.
What did you do wrong to then anger God to not help you?
Wasn't in his will. If it's in his will.
His wheelhouse.
Well, then what does praying matter if he's going to choose to do it or not, even if you're not doing anything different? Or
that's why I choose to believe prayer doesn't work, because there's no criteria for it to work. No matter if you pray or you don't pray, the outcomes are the same. Me and old dude got our debt cleared. He prayed, I didn't.
Right. And that's where it's frustrating.
Or maybe he covered mine. I'm gonna hit him up. Thanks for that extra prayer you threw out for you, boy.
In the Darren Brown stage show that is called Miracle, one of the things he starts out with is some he tells everybody at the very beginning that he's going to use some tricks and stuff. He says part of what he's going to do is use language from religion, because he can't come up with any better language that works better. It's already been figured out
in our culture.
Yep. So he does that, and he starts it off with music and lights, and like they're like the lights and music will sync together to like make waves across the audience. Is like the best way I can describe it. But it's intentionally designed to try to evoke emotion out of people that aren't autistic or on the spectrum. That will make them feel like they are part of something bigger, just through music and lighting and language.
Have y'all been inside of a church outside of Jehovah's Witness?
Not really. I mean, yeah, I've been in a Catholic church before.
That don't count.
I've been in a Catholic church
Don't count.
twice.
That don't count. What about you, Ryan?
She ain't
What?
You ever been in a church outside of the Kingdom Hall? Like, have you actually sat through a service of a different denomination?
Okay, I did.
Don't say Catholic.
Yeah, Catholic.
What's up with y'all and Catholics, man? It's like y'all.
Dude, Catholic churches are
only
beautiful
like
sometimes.
My ex.
Yeah, and that's how the Catholic church get you because their architect is amazing. I want to go to Catholic church because
money from 1,000 years ago.
Yeah, but if you, I implore you. I don't implore you. You may end up becoming a Christian. Sit through a Baptist service and watch how different it is from how it is inside of Jehovah's Witness, to the point where it's like I can tolerate a Baptist service. Jehovah's Witness, I can tolerate.
Excuse me. I've been to a non-denominational church once before, actually. Now that I think about it.
No, you need to go.
I think my skin will light on fire if I step inside of any church. So I avoid them just purely.
It is one of the you haven't had an experience.
I can
go
go to
one of those bad boys.
I can go into a church, but if somebody tries to baptize me, I will.
No, but this is the difference. They're not gonna, when you go into a Baptist church, they're not going to immediately try to convert you. They're not. It's not as soon as let's get them in. No, it's not that type of atmosphere. You can literally go to the church and be unseen and then leave. It's that easy. It's not like you can't just walk into a Jehovah's Witness church and be unseen. You don't know I'm not there. You're like, who's that person? He wasn't here last week. You can't do that. But you can walk into a Baptist church unseen, watch the service, and leave. And nobody will bother you. Even in BC, nobody will bother you. It's a great show. Good music. The people, the music is the best music you ever hear in your life. I mean, some of the top notch, all your famous singers, that's where they come from. They come out the Baptist church. Aretha Franklin, Whitney Houston, all of them come out of the church. So so join, man. I've been trying to convince y'all this whole time, man. Come on. Come on down. Come on.
I can play Whitney Houston anytime I want.
No, but you got to come experience the Whitney magic. Come on.
So I can watch poor children who are too young.
Do you know why all the best artists have come from religion? It's been because religion has had all the money, and artists have to do whatever.
But here's the thing. You got to get away. Here's the thing. You got to get away from a church. You're thinking about money churches. I'm not talking about churches with money. The thing I'm talking about, you got to go to a Baptist church. That I'm not. Like I said, Baptist churches aren't connected like that. You got to find the one that don't have a lot of money.
I don't.
It has just enough money to keep its operations going. Just enough to keep its operation going. Not doing nothing too flashy.
We're trying to find somebody that's actually just singing to God. Huh?
A good old church, and you go in there, and it is calm. Now, I don't personally believe it, but you can see the people at a level like, that's how church is supposed to be. It's the mega churches that are ruining it. They're going this. You're supposed to be community based, but
right.
You know my motto
is like a mega church type of thing.
Mega churches are pulling, because yes, the church part is silly. It's silly, but when it's so small, it's actually the entire community actually working together, actually achieving something community based. But when you get like those mega churches, you're pulling from from all the communities into this one centralized place that has nothing to do with so nobody knows each other. People go to that Lakewood church down there in Houston, in an old basketball stadium that seats over 1,500 people. You don't know anybody in there. You might as well stay home. But whatever.
Yes, you might as well stay home.
So what I'm saying is, you want to.
What I would rather be doing.
So I'm inviting y'all to come to church with me on Sunday.
So I just
If I ever
thought
visit
of,
you in Texas, you can take me to one church.
Okay, one church. I'm gonna hold you to that. Which one?
I just thought of a homework assignment for everybody. Think of a way to replace community that we used to get from churches, where we don't all have to be in a cult anymore. Somebody think of that, please. 'Cause I can't think of nothing.
You can't think of anything?
Hold on.
No,
But here's
I've
the
been
thing.
thinking a little bit. And I can't really think of a way to get everybody on board.
But that's the crux of it all. There's always going to be a cult. If it's not the church, it'll be something else. That's the bottom line of it all. If it's not the church, it'll be something
Government.
else.
Someone
Wherever
design a productive cult, please.
It's impossible.
Well, if you're defining everything as a cult, then yeah, I guess.
Everything is to a extent in a cult. It's just on what level is that cult on? Is it on Jonestown level?
Well, so maybe we should call it high controlling groups.
Yeah.
Because there's got to be a gradient somewhere. And yes,
Yeah.
rules for things to function, right? We have people drive on a particular side of the road so that there isn't just chaos, right? We have rules that we follow just so that society can function. And so it's when it becomes totalitarian and authoritarian that it becomes a problem, when your entire life can be ended simply because you made a mistake or people don't like what you're doing. That's what people have been fighting for forever.
Maybe we just need aliens to make us racist against them and to get us to all unite with each other.
What if it's all just as simple as human psychology? And we just do it to ourselves. And then we
Could
we're the cause of all of our we're the cause and solution to all our problems.
And that's the state. And we are. This is what it is. It's what it should be, what it could be. We're doing exactly what we do, and this is what we do. I don't see a timeline. I'm not saying, not saying it could be, but I don't see a plausible timeline where this entire planet will agree on the exact same thing. And because we cannot agree on the exact same thing, we're never going to reach that cohesiveness that everybody wants, because everybody just don't want the same things. We could agree, we could do the best we can, but on the upside, a majority of the planet is on the same thing. But
it depends on what the same thing is. You can't just like lump everything in together either. We are on a planet. We're all trapped here, whether we like it or not. We can't go to Mars. I don't care what Elon Musk says. That's not a solution.
You're trapped. You're trapped.
Not me.
You're trapped.
We have to look for solutions for the finite resources that we have if we're going to survive as a species. And so
we don't have to.
Come to
that's where you're messing up. We don't have to survive as a species.
Well, we might not. I'm saying if we can never find those solutions without tricking each other and trying to scam each other, and my in-grouping is better than your group.
We do it.
We're always doing those things. We always have done those things, but
we will.
The more we learn about those things, the easier it is to figure it out.
We will continue. No matter what it is, we will always have conflict, because conflict gives us life. Without conflict, you have heaven, and heaven sounds boring.
Well, there always will be conflict in many different ways, but we can minimize the conflict.
I know. I think we're on the path. It's pretty.
Just cancer.
I wouldn't want to be here like just 100 years ago.
Y'all have to get off here pretty quick.
Okay, we've been on for a while too, so we We can always continue this discussion later, but
Oh,
Okay.
dandy.
Gibberish is my word of the day.
Gibberish is my word of the day.
sweetheart.
Oh.
As you can tell, I am somewhat of a nihilist. I just
I'm an optimistic nihilist, if that makes sense.
Kind of. I understand.
I'm a nihilist, but I see the good in people today, and I think we're doing great things, even though we're doing terrible things. And at the same time, I think the great things outweigh the terrible at this present moment, even though that there are terrible things going on.
I'm a nihilist that is struggling and fighting very hard to become optimistic.
What are you optimistic for?
For myself, so I can continue to live and move forward.
Heavy. Hey man,
That's
Thursday
deep.
nights are waiting on you. This
Thanks
moment.
for coming, Alpha Sub.
Sorry, my internet's starting to cut out a little bit. What'd you say?
I
You
said thanks
losing the
for
faith.
coming.
Oh yes, always.
I
Thanks
face-
for having me.
Our faith healing only had a little bit of time on it. It was on a time thing. We only could keep you back for we only could bring you back for a certain amount of time.
Our healing.
Yeah.
When we brought you back from
When we brought you back, we only have a certain amount of time, so I'm sorry.
Yeah, you can only bring me. I'm starting to fade out again. I'm starting to fade out.
I guess our prayers are getting weak.
You're gonna have to come
Y'all
every day.
losing faith.
Yeah, we
losing
Oh,
faith
no.
in me.
We lose. The more we lose faith, the more
Guys, you might have to
lose
put another hand in the audience before you go. Okay, just one more hand, one last time before we leave, and then we're gonna end the show. Alpha Sub, we've got to raise him up a little bit. He's feeling down. The bad spirits are pushing him down. I need you to take that hand, any hand, and put it in the audience, just so we can feel the spirit tonight on our bodies, all over, up and down, in and out. Yes. Thank you.
Everybody send money and like
Swing.
Knick-knack, paddywhack, give a dog a bone.
That was just double.
Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious.
Doubles.
devil hands.
Oh, look, even a thumb right up the old keister. Thank you guys. We love you so much. Appreciate you coming. We'll see you next week. And is it okay if I say that?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, next week everybody come back, bring your friends. We have a special guest who's gonna come on. And you're gonna love it. It's gonna be a total shit show. Should I say who the guest is gonna be, or should we make it a surprise? What do you guys want? You guys want to know?
Tell them. They're gonna forget.
We have the one and only Baphometal will be coming on our show. And if you don't know who that is, you will. You should join us.
I have an idea.
Podcast. He co-hosts with the most amazing woman in the world. And we will pitch it, and you guys are going to learn about it. And it's going to be a great opportunity for you guys to possibly view other people's stories, or maybe tell your own if you would so choose. So join next week when Baphometal will be joining us and talking about, I don't know, Satanism, podcasts. It will be a shit show, I promise
Who
you.
knows what we'll get into?
Yeah, so it'll be fun. Come next time. Next week.
Here. I can't wait. I have great ideas for a thumbnail. So, all right, guys. See you next week. Thank you so much, Dan D, for all your support. We love you so very much. And everybody else, we always love you. You all are so appreciated here. And we're glad that you feel like you have somewhere to go where you're not alone. We get you. We get you. And even when we don't get you, we still appreciate you and respect you. Peace out, guys. Bye.